Thank you and good morning. Welcome to our regular meeting Wednesday, March the 2nd at 10 o'clock. Here today with us to lead us in the invocation is Reverend Blair Beaver of the First Presbyterian Church right here in Bay Minette, Alabama. Reverend Beaver, if you would like to take the podium.
To do your will. Help us to hear and to know the direction you are leading us. We thank you for our leaders here this morning in this county. You have blessed us with one of the finest counties in this country. Help us to follow this will. Dear Heavenly Father, we lift up those that are in our hearts that you know are sick and lost and lonely. Please comfort them as we spread your love. We thank you for all we have and all we ever will do. Christ, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Reverend Believer. Y'all would follow me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
All right, only got one that's calling it a good morning. The other two, I don't know about y'all.
Good morning.
It's good to have a morning.
Yeah, good to be seen, right? Always good to be seen. All right, today we've got before us, Commissioners, our consent agenda. The consent agenda consists of all of the B items that we discussed. I ask that y'all adopt our consent agenda, and when you make this motion to adopt the consent agenda, if you would reference item B and 6, which will be pulled from this consent agenda, and reference item BA2 is contingent upon the receipt of the certificate of liability insurance. Do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chairman, we forgot the adoption of the regular meeting.
Oh, yeah, excuse me. All right, so let's adopt the February 15th meeting minutes. We got a motion by Commissioner Gruber.
Second.
And a second by Commissioner Davis. All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, now it's consent agenda.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we adopt our consent agenda with reference to BA2, contingent upon the receipt of the certificate of liability insurance, and item BN6 that has been pulled.
I'll second that motion.
We got a motion by Commissioner Underwood, second by Commissioner Davis to approve our consent agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Joey? Told you, man, light speed today.
I'm going to try to embrace my millennial inner being here and do this from my laptop. So, all right. Got to be like Matthew.
I just want, Joe, if you don't mind, I want to clarify for the public. Our highway engineer is here with us today, is going to give us an end of the year progress report. We're going to go through this very rapidly, and some of the stuff is hard to see up here. And just for the public's knowledge, this stuff will be uploaded to our website if anybody is ever interested and wants to go look at the year-end report from our highway department. If I'm not mistaken, Ms. Gary, this will be uploaded to our our website. So just for those that can't follow along and you think it's going too quick or you can't see the screen real good, this will be on our website. Thank you, Joey.
Okay, thank you. I'll go ahead and get started. So obviously this is going to be the Highway Department Baldwin County Commission year-end progress report for fiscal year 2021. Now all these reports that I'm fixing to spat out all the numbers I want to show is just up through 2021. So in other words, if we've started something between October and now, it's not actually in this report. So I just want to kind of make that clear. That's a picture of the boat launch that we're building now. That's probably the biggest project we got going on. It's coming along really nice. So our major goals is to plan, construct, and maintain roads, bridges, and parks to facilitate the safe, efficient travel of Baldwin County residents and visitors, and to continuously improve operation efficiency and accountability. This is just a little overview of how our population has grown and how our infrastructure has grown along with that. This is just going to be an overview of, I guess you could say, a 30,000-foot view of where our revenues come from. You can see 47% comes from gas tax, 49% from intergovernmental, which is things like your ad valorem taxes and fees, and then the others just make up 2%. So this is a breakdown of all the gas tax that we collect. We break them down into funds. 111, 112, 13, 117, 115, and 118. You can see the Rebuild Alabama is bringing in about $2 million, and as compared to some of the others. If you break that down just a little bit further, I just wanted to show you how this 5-cent and the 7-cent gas tax is broke out. We have a 5-cent local gas tax that brings in about $9.3 million. And now compare that local gas tax. It doesn't go up to Montgomery and get watered down and then come back to us like the next four. So the 7, the 5, and the 4, and the 8, all of that goes up to the Montgomery, gets watered down, divided up between all the states, and comes back as compared to the 5-cent local. I just thought that was very interesting. These are some other grant funding sources. Restore, FAS, TAP, AID, A-TRIP, Go Mesa, HSIP, EWP. I know I'm going through these fast, so I apologize, but there's a lot to all of these. And this is just a little breakdown of how, if we were awarded a grant, how these funds work at a 20% match. To break this down a little bit further, our projects make up 46%. We break these projects down into categories all the way from resurfacing to park improvement projects. We set goals, and then we measure how we meet those goals. And our goal was to resurface 63.24 miles at the beginning of the year. We actually resurfaced 69.88 miles, and 21 is actually underway. So we were able to accomplish all that. And that's just how we group them throughout the county, and a couple of different pictures of the different roads that we've resurfaced. Dirt road paving is another one of our goals. Our goal was to do 6.99 miles. We actually did 5.13. We've had a crazy wet season, so I thought that was pretty good, given the rain amounts that we've had. Higbee was one of those. South Boulevard was another one, and these are the roads that actually are underway. Some of those have already started since October. Our bridge projects, our goal was to complete 5. We did that. The other goal was to begin construction on 4, and we weren't able to do that for various reasons, mainly right-of-way acquisition. That's a huge hurdle that we have to leap, and we weren't able to meet some of those goals that we set. And, you know, there were some hidden things that we did not know about. There's a Fred Duggar. There's a Lindholm. That's one of we got rid of the old wooden structure there. That was very nice to get rid of that. Hoyle Briars, County Road 65, Doc McDuffie. That was a grant program that we did, and River Road North is in design. These are the other 4 that are culvert projects that are in design, and this one, Pine Grove Road Extension Bridge, is in design. New road construction projects. We was wanting to secure funding for for Baldwin Beach Express, and we're still looking for opportunities to do that, and begin design on Pleasant Road Extension, which that is done. The safety improvement projects, goal was to complete construction on 4. We actually did 5, and 1 was in progress and 1 was in design. The other goal was to begin construction on the 2 other projects, and they didn't make it to that point, but they were in design. There's one on St. Michael's Way, County Road 32 turn lane, Baldwin Beach Express turn lanes, signals. So those are the types of projects that we refer to as safety. Capacity improvement projects was to continue design on 1 project, and we did that, and that was the County Road 64 project, which is widening that one out there from 181 out to Monte Lucia Way. Drainage improvement projects, our goal was to complete construction on 2. We did 1, and 1 site was pending environmental issues that we couldn't get clearance for, but we're still working through those. Fernwood Drive was one of those. That's been a huge help to that subdivision there on Sunrise subdivision. That's just a construction of a huge 11-acre pond that is really functioning well. Park improvement projects, obviously that's the big launch, the boat launch that we showed on the very first slide. That one's in progress and it's on schedule to hopefully by the end of the month. And we're talking about maybe trying to do some type of little ribbon cutting maybe in the beginning of April, mid-April maybe. Having a little bit of problem getting bathrooms delivered, supply chain issues. So we all are affected by it. That's a good picture of the launch itself. You can see all the boardwalks are done, the ramps are poured. There's a lot of asphalt that is laid, and they were actually laying a lot more yesterday. Special projects. These are projects that range all over the board, ADA projects, sidewalk projects, or any other projects that may not be specifically road and bridge related. Our goal was to complete 4 projects. We had 3 of those completed, 1 in progress, and to begin construction on 2 projects, and we were able to meet those goals. Again, there's some ADA projects that we did. And some of those sidewalks are in bad shape. Guardrail projects. That was a guardrail damage from Hurricane Sally. Special projects. These are, again, things that don't specifically relate to our road and the bridge. We're building 2 new facilities, maintenance facilities, one in Area 100, one in Area 200. Both of those are underway and making good progress. We did a bike lane with some rumble strips down on County Road 99. Design, this is our goals, was to complete design on 4 groups, resurfacing projects. We did those, and that was 89 roads total. The bridge projects was to complete design on 6 projects, 2 projects complete, 14 projects are in progress. So just talk a little bit for a second about that goal. When we set that goal for 6 projects, we didn't expect Hurricane Sally to come in. When Hurricane Sally came in and blew out a bunch of our pipes, we now are replacing those pipes with box culverts. Those box culverts are classified as bridges, which is why that 6 went to 14. So, you know, we always have to change directions when something like that happens. From a design standpoint, also, safety improvement projects was to complete design on 4 projects. We did 1 project complete, 6 projects in progress. Drainage improvement projects, complete design on 0 projects, 15 are in progress. So again, drainage, Sally, that was the issue. We didn't really set any goal for that, but we ended up doing a bunch of them. Park improvement projects, complete design on 1 project. 2, we did that with 2 in progress. Special projects was complete design on 4 projects complete, 1 in progress. Again, right-of-way is one of the biggest hurdles we have to accomplish with doing any project. Our goal was to acquire 32 tracks on funded projects. We did 22 of those. 21 of those 22 were donated. Thought that was a good report on the right-of-way guys. 10 of those are still in progress. So this is a goal that we set for the non-funded projects. These are the ones that we're working on in order to come back next budget year and ask for y'all funding for. Our goal was to acquire 100, which is a lofty goal. We did 43 of those, 39 were donated, and 22 are in progress. So this is maintenance activities. We break our maintenance activities down into 3 areas. You can see that when we have a lot of hurricanes and rain events, these activities go up. Our phone calls, our complaints and all go up. What we try to do is to ensure that all citizen request work orders are processed timely. We received over 3,505 work orders, and we was able to accomplish a little over 3,000 of those. This is the process. We get a problem, we create a work order, and then we report when it's completed. And you can see how those work order numbers differ by each one of our areas. The 94, 97, and 88 were the percentages that we were able to address and complete. Again, we had a crazy wet season at one particular time. I think Area 300 had 100 backlog of work orders, drainage work orders that the grade all needed to go work on. We were able to take the grade off from Area 100, go down and help 300 out. That is now decreased, but that was some of the things we were battling through this year. We did compare how these work orders are increasing throughout the years. This is 2019, 20, and 21 per district. You can see Area 300 is just steadily increased, 794, over 1,000, then over 1,200. This is 2020, which is Hurricane Sally. This is a rain totals. You can see Hurricane Sally dropped, probably 70, right, almost 80 inches in some parts of the county. And that was a crazy rain event. 2021, you can see the whole county received what a part of the county received in 2020. So that's what we were battling. This is just a breakdown of how many paved and dirt roads we have. We have 162 maintained bridges. 9 of those are posted. We're whittling them down. A lot of those 9 are fixing to be knocked out as well. These are some maintenance activities. That gets a little in the weeds. I'll go ahead and slide past that. Special projects can be anything from sidewalks to emergency related, Sally's hurricane stuff, parking lots, and work for other agencies. You can see we map those, keep track of them. This is a walking track we did for an elementary school. We did a parking area for EMA. And of course, Hurricane Sally always throws things our way that we did not plan for. This was a Little River Sales Center parking lot. Of course, Hurricane Sally stuff. I didn't list all of Hurricane Sally stuff and all the FEMA stuff. This is just the Cat C stuff. Cat C stuff is just highway and bridge stuff. There's a total of about $6.4 million that we're working on through FEMA and FHWA. From an engineering and administrative standpoint, it takes up about 17% of our budget. You can see we got things broken down into pre-construction, construction, geospatial operations, and administration. And again, I won't bore y'all with all these little details here, but again, it will be online for future reference. Capital expenditures, that's what we dedicate funds towards our equipment. Whether that be our heavy-duty equipment or our regular car and truck equipment. You see we bought a new stripe truck. We're getting that thing running, and it's working good. It's a Trackco, the Mower Max, which the guys really love when it comes to boom mowing. New loaders, asphalt spreaders, rollers, and the all-elusive trucks that are hard to come by these days. So from a budget standpoint, we budgeted a little over $4 million. We actually came in around about 3.7. On the motor vehicles, we came in right at budget. And of course, the buildings, which was a lot of the maintenance facilities, those are still ongoing. We budgeted a lot more than what we actually got to, but obviously they're still ongoing. And that's just other capital expenditures. So the challenges, obviously, COVID is still hanging around. We actually, last year at this time, I measured how many lost work hours we had. We lost over 12,000 man hours last year due to COVID. This year, I would have thought that it would have went back up. We actually lost an additional 1,785. So I thought that was very interesting. So we're still struggling, obviously, with a loss of productivity. Looking ahead, goals and challenges, we obviously have strategic plan goals that the commission has set for us. Some of those are going to be, by 2022, residents will experience a well-planned set of new and improved roads for local travel and alleviate traffic congestion. Residents and visitors will experience reduced congestion with the completion of the Baldwin Beach Express 2 and experience a reduction in runoff and flooding through the implementation of a regional retention system of stormwater. And again, we set the 2022 goals that I will be reporting on next year, and I'm going to go through these quickly. Safety improvement project here. This is another roundabout that we're working on at 13 and 44. The one at 13 and 32 got started underway last week. Again, this is the right-of-way acquisition phases. So challenges for 2022. Obviously, we are seeing a lot of growth. And since 1960, Alabama's population has grown by about 50%. But since that same time frame, Baldwin County's population has grown 354%. So this is what we're struggling. This is just our resurfacing program. If we average a 12-year cycle on resurfacing any of our roads, we should be doing that big block that's in gray there. What's in blue is what we've actually been doing. It's been increasing. We're catching up, and that's to y'all's favor. I mean, that's something that y'all have allowed us to do, and y'all funded those resurfacing roads very well. We had 175 miles of dirt roads. Those we're whittling away at, but obviously right-of-way is a big issue there. So this slide, just for a second, you can see the ones that are starred. The ones that are starred are capital improvement projects that are underway. County Road 20 from the end of pavement to 65. Additional lanes on 64, extend Pleasant Road, and extend Cordy Road. All those are underway, under design. We're going to need to be funding those over the next year or so. The others that are on this sheet, extend BBE, extend 48, extend Lawrence, the industrial drive through the mega site, and extend 65 are ones that I'm working on putting in grants for, and I'll be coming back. The infrastructure bill has opened up a few opportunities for us to maybe try to chase after some grant money for these projects, and I'll be coming back through this year, keeping y'all up to speed on where we are at on those grant projects. Our posted bridges, these are some of our big ones that we need to get replaced. And I hope I didn't go too fast, but that's
Good presentation.
Great.
Okay.
Sounds great.
If you would, I'd like to, can you email me that?
I will.
Yes.
Email all of the copy.
Yeah, I think it would be helpful to
I'm going to be
have.
speaking at some events, and I want to be able to bring up some of those numbers when I'm speaking, so.
Yes, sir. I can do that. I'll email you. It's a PowerPoint presentation, so
Absolutely.
We'll get it to you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I have under my purview this time, the Highway Department. All of y'all have already had it, but I can honestly tell you that is the best organized, best run organization with the details that they have to deal with. You go in there and let him walk you through the boards and the activities there. Enjoy. We appreciate you. We appreciate you and your people, and we've got to figure out ways to help you get more people to join the team. But I just wanted to give you an attaboy, so to speak.
Well, thank you. My staff does all this. I'm just the show guy up front, okay? I've got a great staff. They work hard. We are slammed right now. We're busy. We can't hire folks right now because of this environment that we're in. So the kudos goes to them. So
Good.
Thank you, Joey, for what you and your department do. We couldn't do it without you, for sure.
Good job, Joey.
Thank you. Great job on the presentation.
Oh, yes, very good.
All right, next up, we have our public hearings. This will be under our building inspection department, has a couple of these today. I'll introduce the first one here and then open up the public hearing. We'll be dealing with case number UNA 21/000030. I'll let Eddie introduce this case before I open up the public hearing.
Good morning, Commissioners. If you remember, this is an unsafe nuisance that got tabled at the last meeting to give the owner of the property time to get an elevation certificate to determine whether the property could be refurbished or did it have to be torn down. In that time frame, they have gotten an elevation certificate, and the top floor of the structure can be salvaged and remodeled, and they will have to demolish the lower floor. But you'll have two options to vote on resolutions. One, to just say that we're going to go ahead and abate it, or if you remember, I can only authorize up to 150 days for these things to be taken care of, and after that, you guys have to step in. And there's a resolution in there that would recommend giving them an additional 90 days to get this property sold. I think there's somebody who's wanting to buy that. Hold on just a second for the public here. I just wanted to, but they're in the process of selling this, but the original owner will be responsible for making sure this gets abated or the repair process is started and make the structure safe within that 90-day frame. So when you open the public hearing, I'm going to recommend that you adopt the resolution that does grant them a 90-day extension.
Thank you, Eddie. All right, public hearing is now open on case number UNA 21/0000030, unsafe nuisance abatement at 1590 State Highway 180, Gulf Shores, Alabama. Is there anybody signed up to speak for or against this?
Not that I know of.
Okay. What's your recommendation, Eddie?
I recommend that you adopt the resolution that grants a 90-day extension for the owner of the property to either abate or to start the repair process.
Okay. Public hearing is closed. Commissioners, you've heard a recommendation from our staff.
I'll make a motion that we adopt staff's recommendation.
I'll second that.
We have a motion to adopt staff's recommendation and that's a motion by Commissioner Underwood, a second by Commissioner Davis, and this is to approve that resolution, adopt that resolution. All right. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right. Next up, we're dealing with case number UNA 21/0000036. Eddie?
Yes, sir. This is a new unsafe nuisance, and it is a situation that the applicant or the owner of the structure had sold the property, but being that it is a owner finance situation, the applicant or the owner is still responsible for the abatement of this, and the structure has been torn down, but the debris is still on the site. And so at the same thing, we have two resolutions in front of you. One would just say for me to go ahead and abate it, or to give them additional 90 days to remove the debris, and that's the one that I'm going to recommend.
Okay. Public hearing is now open on case number UNA 21/0000036, the unsafe nuisance abatement, 8860 State Highway 180 in Gulf Shores, Alabama. I don't think there's anybody signed up here to speak for or against that. Eddie, what's your recommendation?
My recommendation would be to adopt the resolution that would allow the owner of the property to have an additional 90 days to remove the debris.
Okay.
Chairman, I'll go ahead and make that motion.
Hang on just a second.
Let him close it.
All right, public hearing is now closed. Commissioner Gruber entertaining a motion?
I did.
And I'll second that motion.
All right, Commissioner Gruber made a motion to adopt staff's recommendation and approve the resolution granting the 90 days. Second by Commissioner Davis. Any discussion on this topic? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
That passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Eddie.
Commissioner Gruber, we need to pay the bills.
All right. Okay, Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion. We paid the bills totaling $3,550,675.88. With the exception of the vendors commissioners requested to be pulled, which are listed in the Baldwin County accounts payable, which is item number 122.
That's correct.
All right, of that amount, $929,036.99 is payable to the Baldwin County Board of Education for its part of the sales and use tax, and $66,104.77 is payable to the Gulf Shores Board of Education for their portion of the county sales and use tax.
Commissioners, y'all have heard Commissioner Gruber's request to pay the bills with the exception of item 122.
I'll second it.
You got a motion by Commissioner Gruber, a second by Commissioner Underwood to pay the bills with the exception of item 122. Any discussion on that? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion we pay item number 122.
I'll second it.
Got a motion to pay item 122 by Commissioner Gruber, second by Commissioner Underwood. Any discussion on that? Please let the record reflect that Commissioner Davis will abstain from this vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. We're now to our other staff recommend, our EA2 takes care of itself with the notice of interim payments approved by the clerk treasurer. And then item number F, we don't have any other staff recommendations. Are we doing commissioner requests again? Or
Well, I since it was brought up in the work session, I just wanted to reintroduce this commission policy 2.16, and I would also just like to say that this policy is more about communication. Communication builds effective teams, it maintains relationships, it facilitates innovation, and it's actually respect for individuals. And I hope that that helps understand that it was really more about communication, and that policies are sometimes in place just so that everyone has the same guidelines, and that it's not one person doing this and the other person doing that. It's kind of like the seatbelt law. If everybody wore their seatbelt, we wouldn't need a seatbelt law. So I just wanted to bring it up and make sure that it was not misunderstood. And if there was any reason to change anything, I really wasn't after that. I just wanted to see it to be followed.
Okay. All right, I'm going to make a request to our administrator, Mr. Sink. Welcome today as your first meeting back to the old ways.
Thank you, sir.
All right. I have seen you up there before. Thank you for taking on this role for us again. I just wanted to request, if you don't mind, Ron, just out of a courtesy, as Commissioner Underwood's request and Commissioner Davis' request earlier, if you would just circle up with you guys and the 10 and just ask them if, out of courtesy of themselves, so we won't bother them, just send us a message to our
Email.
what do you call them? My mind went blank. Admin assistants, so they can put this on our calendar when y'all are off. That way, whether you're hunting, fishing, Disney World, you name it, we're not going to call and bother you because we know y'all are on vacation. So it's nothing, no micromanaging, it's no wanting to know where you're at all the time. We're just following the policy. It's better to follow it than try to get rid of it right now. So I'm happy if Ron, if you can make that happen for us, and just a better line of communication. Like Commissioner Davis says, I really don't need it. He doesn't need it, but some others want the courtesy. And I think as for the body, let's just be congruent with our decisions and make sure that the policy is implemented in some way that benefits all of us and benefits you guys as well. The main benefit is to you, you're the employee that, so we don't, I know turkey season is coming up, and I don't want to call you when you're trying to get one up.
I won't answer.
Right. That's a good answer right there.
We're up 43.
All right, any more commissioner requests?
No.
All right, we don't have any addenda. We've got a new item, commissioners, if you look on your agenda, we have now a senior staff report. This is something that Ron and I talked about. It was Ron's idea, and it's more than just an administrative report. This is where I'm going to let Ron describe this.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. Commissioners, this is just rather than just focus on administrative report, open it up to senior staff, to whoever, and we haven't had an opportunity to convey it all the way through, but it's other department heads, if they want to bring something in front of the commission, it's not just administrator, it's all of the senior staff that can bring something in front of the commission. That was the reason for the wording change on it. So.
Sounds great.
Sounds good.
I think it's great just so it alleviates the headache off Ron trying to explain somebody else's business. So, I mean, I think today taking advantage of this new system is going to be our building inspector, Eddie Tyler.
Eddie Tyler.
Excuse me.
Eddie Tyler.
Why am I say that? Eddie Harper. Excuse me. Pardon me, Eddie, if you're watching this. I didn't mean to call you out on the spot, but we are talking about Eddie Harper.
He got a lot more handsome, didn't he?
I don't know how many Eddies.
Ooh, just stop right there.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, we may need to cut the tape off.
All right.
Good morning again. I just wanted a little direction on something that's come up. I don't have the authority to waive permit fees. You guys granted that authority after Hurricane Sally for us to waive the permit fees for the people that had to deal with the remodeling of their houses and recovery. But we have a couple of situations coming up. I was going to wait to the next meeting, but these are going to have to be addressed before that, to where we normally waive fees for other government entities, like other cities, or maybe nonprofit organizations like fire departments and things like that. And we have a couple of those that are going to come up. And I'm just looking for a little direction, maybe from Ron. Ron and I discussed it a little bit, but then the attorney could step in and see if y'all could give me, authority to be able to waive fees up to a certain amount or something like that for those type entities like that. We have, Alberta is going to be applying for some restrooms that they built at the new ball fields, and then the Fort Morgan Fire Department is going to be, building a new fire department down there. And in the past, we've waived those type fees, but each one of them has to come before the commission. And I'm kind of wanting to maybe not have to bring little things like that to y'all.
I think they got to come before the commission, don't they?
It may have to, I'm not sure.
And that's the reason I'm asking a little bit of direction.
I do know, Commissioners, just to kind of echo what Eddie is talking about, you grant me the authority in sales tax to do penalties, okay? And up to $100 is my office staff that can take care of it, my office manager. And then I think the commission gave me up to $10,000. And then anything over that, I have to come to you. Of course, I use, common sense. If there's fraud, I'm never going to waive it. I can never waive the taxes.
See, this is a penalty that
Right.
you're talking about, and the permit
Right.
fee is actually the tax.
Right.
Right.
So I think what we can do is take this under consideration, get with legal, get with you. I think there would be a way to do exactly what we do with you, and would give him a threshold. We could vote on it as a body to allow you up to a certain threshold, right? A money amount or something to waive if he had to.
If you can differentiate between the fact that a penalty is different than the
I understand.
actual.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I know that other entities all the time, I see it on their agendas, that they're waiving a fee for, like they waive part of the fee for the jail, Bayonet did.
Is there a check and balance system with, in case you do come across this, check with Ron and make sure these people that you're waiving is up to date with
That's
anything
right.
else they haven't paid?
Right.
That's right.
All right, because
This is governmental entities you're talking about, or else fire departments, or not for.
Yeah, that's the direction I'm looking for, is who can I do it for and how much I can do it for.
Then why don't they
We'll bring this
research
back
it?
to a roundtable discussion next
Then
work
research
session.
it.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks, Eddie. Anybody else want to take advantage of our new senior staff reports? This would even encompass you, Matthew. We got department heads in here. Joey, we've heard from you. If you want to come back up.
I feel like I just gave mine.
All right,
your own
sounds
section.
good. Anything from the Brats department? You want? All right, just hanging out with us today. All right. Nobody else wants to take advantage. We got some
Caught them off
shy
guard.
people sitting in the audience. All right. County Attorney's report. Do we have anything today?
I do not.
That's also a blessing.
Thank you.
Always.
Thank you.
We got out of hand last meeting with the executive session, so I'm glad we've taken a break. Nobody is here from the public, looks like, to comment. Y'all are all still public if y'all want to comment, but, all right. I don't see anybody here from the press.
We don't even have Guy here.
All right. Now we're down to commissioner comments. Start with Commissioner Gruber.
I just want to thank the staff for getting us to where we're at with the agenda and getting it published so that we can reach out to everyone and so that they know what we're doing. And also, we're fixing to enter into the Easter season, and, I think everybody needs to, what's going on in the world, we need to be more conscious of what's going on around us, and, thank the good Lord that, that we have what we have and are able to take care of what we've got, and I just think it's, the time for the season that we needed to really open our hearts up to that. With that, that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Commissioner Underwood.
Yes, I just wanted to express my condolences to, we've lost a couple of employees that work for the county. One worked for Bratz, Miss Kathy Weeks. I knew her personally. It just broke my heart. I almost couldn't believe it when I heard that she'd passed away. And then we lost another employee in solid waste, Miss Robin Yost, and I knew her as well. And I knew her husband's family my whole life. And so some of the people who've passed away, I maybe not have known them, but I just want to say that my condolences, and I'm sure the whole commission expresses that to their families. It's a very sad time. We're all invited and know about a lot of funerals that are happening, but especially when we lose some of our staff. So I just want to also reiterate what Commissioner Gruber said. The thanks to our staff. You guys just have no idea how much we really, 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 really appreciate you. And I hope that anything I ever say is only because I want to communicate better and have a better way of communicating. And just thank you guys.
Ron, I want to say welcome back. You've always done us a good job in whatever capacity we've had you in, so I look forward to us moving the progress needle forward. I also want Matthew to come up and tell a quick story that I heard out in the lobby about our BRAT system, and it's, I think, an example of what we are trying to make happen with the BRAT system. Matthew?
So I didn't tell Ann or anybody at Bratz this, but I unfortunately was in a little fender bender several weeks ago, so my car is in the shop and things are taking a long time right now. So I could rent a vehicle, and I thought, you know what, let me try being a public paid passenger on Bratz. And I've ridden it 3 times now in the past, this past week. And it has just been a great experience. I haven't had to communicate with the office, no one there, but now the drivers who have transported me have even known that I've participated because I'm doing it all through my app. And took Bratz into the office this morning. And it's just been phenomenal, and just hats off to Ann and her team for that. It's been a great experience. It's just so cool that you can just do all that from the app. And I see improvements that have been made to the app since my time there, and it's just neat to see that progress going. So
Great news.
Thank you, Matthew. I mean, that's an example of going forward and getting things done the way they're going to need to be done the next 5-10 years or so. And I'm very positive about this county. I'm very positive about our potential. And the progress needle is going to move in a lot of different directions. We've got some people that, don't want us to get any bigger. Well, we're not going to get to deal with stopping people from coming here. We just need to embrace them and include them in the process. I think as part of my role as a lame duck between now and I guess Halloween is for me to be just as blunt as I've always been and turn red when I get mad, bad, glad, sad, or excited. So I'm probably turning red now. I'm turning red because I'm excited. I really am. I'm excited about Baldwin County, and it is an honor and a privilege to work with you guys in this room. And please tell the people that you supervise, they're the ones that make the rubber meet the road correctly. You know that. And up here, we know that as well. So thank you to everyone. Obviously, putting together a big staff and a big agenda is something that has to be done in advance. And Anu and your team do a super job of doing that. So Ron, don't rock the ship, babe. Just keep her rolling, okay? Thank you very much. Thank you, Chairman.
Yep. So yeah, Matthew, what a great story for the Bratz transportation. I may, the way gas prices are going, may take that myself before long. That's another example of as we get bigger, we're getting better.
That's it.
And thank you so much for what you do over there. It's I've heard several people that use that, and I think you'll see. You probably have a lot of judges and lawyers and stuff start riding that thing back when you're coming from Fairhope to the courthouse now. Anytime gas prices hike up, you'll see all the judges get on that thing at one time and come over here. So I may be hopping on it with them when I need to go across that way. But just to reiterate what everybody says, definitely thank you to the staff as well for everything that you do. Never goes unrecognized, and it's amazing, like Joe said, that we have the county that we have called Paradise, and it's managed by tons of people besides us four. We're just a small part in this, but man, what a blessing to be a part of this. When I was in church this Sunday, there was a message that was preached kind of towards the end. We actually partner with a church in Russia, and there's a lot of Christian faith in Russia, and a lot of people know this already, but the Russian people themselves don't agree with what's going on. They're totally against what's going on, and what happens with us as people is we watch the news, we watch the TV, we spread rhetoric on Facebook because we're trying to control what's not in our control. What's going on over there has nothing to do with us. But what we can do as people of God's walk in life and faith is God hears our prayers, and He's the only one that changes this course of direction, not a person. And so I think with that being said, as Commissioner Gruber alluded to, during this season of unsettledness and unrestless, which happens all the time within the world, it's just now glorified over in this part of the country because an attack's happening. The people of this land, which encompasses the globe, can heal the land by prayer. And if enough people reaches out, and I think when enough people's praying, God hears the prayers and can stop the inevitable from happening. So I would encourage everybody, oddly enough, today's Ash Wednesday for Catholic faith. I think you could spend the next 40 days up until Good Friday, adding to your daily devotions or whatever you do, just almost like a fasting type thing, or just a real quick prayer for our country. God heals the land, and that kind of thing, because we're at times of uncertainty with our economy. Ron and I was discussing this the other day as budget director and chairman, going through some things as highway department. I mean, things are astronomically going out of hand with prices and stuff, and this is all just as a knee-jerk reaction to something that's happening that's not even related to us as far as what we can control. But we get a lot of our supplies from over that way, and it's being jeopardized right now. So pray for our land, and as we go through this times of uncertainty, just like we would for any types of uncertainty. With that being said, do I hear a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I'll second that.
I don't think there'd be any discussion on that. So all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Please let the record reflect that this meeting is over at 10:48.
Very good.